Super. BS.
Yo, 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 what is up, my little babies? This is Dave. It's been a while since I've been back.
I've been so busy with my vlog.
Getting back into Queen. Yeah, I've been like totally lawing it up, just blogging on my law blog and being a total type boy. But it's good to be back. I miss y'all. Miss my boys here.
My boys.
And yeah.
Miss our Ukrainian listeners.
Miss our Ukrainian listener.
We're all about that listener. We love you.
My Ukrainian grandmother just died, so feeling a lot of love for the homeland.
So, did we lose our listener then?
Morbid. Like the second we start, we gotta.
I just want to say I'm feeling a certain love for the homeland these days.
There you go, motherland. You have a few motherlands though, don't you? You got like the British Isles. You got.
But those people are not dead yet. So.
That's true. All right, so
he hates those motherlands, right?
We'll revisit them at a future date. Well, anyways, guys, looking to have some fun tonight. Looking to get back in the saddle here, but we want to talk about some games we've been playing. Is that what we want to do tonight? It's been so long.
We do want to talk about that, but real quick, I want to interject.
Brank definitely doesn't want to talk about anything.
Oh, you want to talk about a movie or something?
I want to talk about Black Panther just for a minute.
Okay.
On Dave's left is me, Donna. Just want to introduce ourselves.
Here.
Janky Poo here.
So Jank, I heard you saw it.
All right, so let's talk about Sherlock Gnome, huh?
Oh my
Sherlock
goodness.
Gnome,
What
man.
is this? It was awesome. That's all. I don't really have a lot that I want to say. I just want to say, somebody, if there's a developer who's listening to this, please make a Skyrim-style game where I can explore the world of Black Panther. Please.
All right, I have a thought. Okay,
They're listening. They did it.
This might make me unpopular. I thought the movie was great. It was a fun movie to watch.
The end.
But no.
You're right. It
I
did.
don't think that it was as revolutionary as everyone was saying it was.
Okay, it's not it's a superhero movie. What are you expecting? Like, it was a really good. It's probably one of the best superhero movies. ever made.
No, and I liked it.
So it wasn't bad.
It's in my top 5. Yeah, it's not bad. It was in my top 5 favorite. But I think that millennial bloggers are overhyping like the whatever social messages they're trying to deliver.
They do that for everything. Enjoy it and have fun.
Yeah, you heard me, Huffington Post.
Did you enjoy the movie though, Josh?
I did.
Or
enjoyed
Jank?
it. Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
It's awesome. And I think you go by Josh now, right?
Oh, hey.
I feel
What
like
do you
you're
go by?
dropping the moniker, right? I feel like you've been doing halvesies.
I've been doing halvesies.
Doing halvesies?
Yeah,
Okay.
Josh, Jank. Did you stay for the after credit scene?
I did for both.
All right.
You
All
stay
right,
for
good.
both, right?
Yeah, I don't want
Okay,
to talk about
cool.
it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When you
we don't want to
guys
talk much
see it-
else because 2 of our boys haven't seen
Do
it.
make sure
but
you stay
I wanna throw
for
that
the
in.
after credits of tonight's episode.
There you
where
go.
we actually just spoil all of Black Panther.
It's true.
My favorite scene, one of my favorite after credit scenes, is in Pirates of the Caribbean 2: Dead Man's Chest. The after credit scene when the voodoo woman says, "Days are not away." She doesn't actually say that.
So terrible.
We did convince Brian that was real at one point.
That's true because
Really?
Brank hates after credit scenes. He doesn't like them and he can't like sit still for them.
Didn't we all see that movie together?
I think
I
think we did.
Yeah, we did.
I think it was like a
Yeah.
midnight showing.
Like a
There was
bunch of
tons
brethren people
Yeah.
were there too, right?
Yeah.
Dude.
That was a terrible movie.
That was one of the worst movies. That was like the first time I realized that, wow, not every blockbuster movie is good. It's really sad.
that Disney.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. 3 months later, we went and saw the last one. So there's that.
No, I don't think anybody
3 months
saw.
later.
They
Oh, are you
released
talking
pretty
about-
close. Pirates of the Caribbean, right?
Oh, The World's End?
At World's End.
Dude,
Oh,
that
okay, I
movie
remember
that
that.
movie's bad. I tried to watch the movie on painkillers after one of my surgeries and I couldn't even do it.
Even with the
I had to turn it off. I was like, "Mom, I need more."
Jeez.
You like pain?
You like
Try watching 2 and 3.
Wait, has anyone seen 5? I haven't seen 5.
or 4.
I saw 4. 4 was actually better than
That's
2
the
and 3.
Penelope Cruz one.
I saw 5.
Yeah.
Which is the one that's on Netflix right now
5.
that has fake Orlando Bloom and fake
I think that's 5, right?
Yeah.
5. Yeah, he's in
Dead
it.
Men Tell No Tales?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's basically the Johnny Depp movie. It's not. It doesn't even have a
Johnny
story.
Depp.
It's just
None of the other ones were.
He's just there running around going "Ah!" and waving his hands around and stuff.
He's just paying
Sounds-
for his yachts and whatever.
Johnny Depp is like one of the most like outlandish spenders in all of the world.
I heard he's in tons of debt, even though he has makes hundreds of millions per movie.
I think he spent like some crazy amount of money.
I heard he
to
bought
shoot.
the suit from Diamond Jim.
The 10, like it was $1 billion.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Oui, magnifique.
But for reals though, he's like an insane spender. I think he spends like $100,000 a month on wine, and like he spent like $1 million to shoot some guy's ashes out of a cannon in the Rockies. Just,
okay,
stuff.
in all fairness, that's kind of cool. I mean,
okay, I guess so.
Why would that cost $100 million?
I think he had to like pay the family's estate to like get permission to do it. And
Did
then
he know this guy, or just like?
I mean, I think he was the guy who wrote the book Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I'm pretty sure it's like that's what it is.
and then plot twist: after he fired out, the wind actually blew it back into his face. So
And he consumed it.
yeah, he
And then he'll rise again from the ashes.
And there were fart jokes everywhere, man. It was so funny.
Johnny Depp loves a good fart joke. I do
Yeah.
know that about him. Anyways, I want to talk about Black Panther a little bit tonight.
No.
In the social messages. Just kidding. Who's here on my left tonight? Is that Donna?
Yeah, it's me.
What's up with your bad self?
Not much. Just I broke up with Eric Foreman, and
Eric Foreman.
I don't understand.
you ever watch
George
that 70s
Foreman.
show?
No, I know Foreman.
guys, if
Donna's the redhead, right?
Donna's the redhead.
Oh,
in
If
that
you're
70s
watching
show.
this on
Billy.
YouTube, there's currently a camera spinning around each of us, catching our perspective.
I can't believe you never watched this show.
I wasn't allowed to when it was out, and
Yeah,
then
I can- yeah.
now it's just like old. So,
I heard
Yeah,
it's
no, it's
still
dumb.
pretty good.
It's
it
it's
holds-
alright.
on
what if
Netflix,
you
right?
if you hadn't seen it? I bet it probably isn't as good.
I bet.
It doesn't hold up as well as Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, I mean, it's no everybody loves Raymond.
My
I mean,
parents still watch that show
Really?
like all the
it's
time.
classic. It's pure gold.
Do you know what I watched for the first time a couple weeks ago? Was The Golden Girls, and that was actually pretty
I can
fun.
see you
It's-
watching that.
It's a
and
pretty
loving
funny
it.
show.
The Golden Girls is great.
Yeah.
And how many pints of ice cream did you have by your bed?
He's more of a Seas Candy
It's an
man.
ice cream show.
How many tears were shed while you were watching?
At
this?
least 3.
Tears of sheer joy.
It takes a minute for you to realize it's about slutty old women.
It is like
Right.
it was surprisingly raunchy, and
They
it was
get around.
It was funny.
They've
Yeah.
seen a few blocks.
I mean, some of the,
you know what I mean? Traverse. them.
yeah.
Traverse them.
Some wrinkles in the mattress, if you will.
Some people like that.
I mean, sure.
To each their own.
To
So what are
each
you
their-
playing, Dana?
I haven't really played anything since last we spoke.
Last you and I spoke? That's a long time.
Yeah.
That would have been like 2 months since last episode.
We have a rule where none of us are allowed to talk to each other outside of the podcast.
Save for the podcast, boys.
Yeah.
That's what we say.
It's true.
That is actually literally what.
But yeah, so in the last week, I haven't really played a ton. I played through the tutorial in Kingdom Come, or actually half the tutorial,
Hooray!
which was pretty brutal.
I also played the tutorial.
Yeah, and it's definitely cool. It's interesting. I did not have a lot of time to invest into it, and I will not have any time to invest into it for the next couple of weeks. But it's pretty fun. It is basically what it sounds. There's definitely some bugs I encountered that were hilarious, frustrating in the moment because it had me restart. The worst thing about the game is the save system.
Wait,
I think
what's
that's
the
pretty
bugs
much-
though? What were the bugs?
Oh, you saw the video of me falling
But
through the ground.
no one else saw it.
Yeah. So, well, let me get to why that's annoying. So, the premise of the game is 15th century Bohemia, historically accurate setting.
Okay.
No
14 to
magic.
3. Yep.
Yeah. No magic, no wizards, no dragons, no fantasy. It's just pure medieval. It's got a lot of moving parts, complicated systems. It is a game in the style of like an Elder Scrolls where the more you do something, the better you get at it.
That is the
But-
dumbest comparison I've ever heard. Just I wanted to let everyone know that.
It is also a first-person action RPG, but there's way more parts to it than any recent Elder Scrolls. this game has a separate mechanic for speech and charisma.
Duh.
So
you need that.
Things like that. And it's influenced, like, charisma is influenced by your clothing. If you have blood on you, if you are dirty.
That's pretty rad.
That's
though.
cool.
Yeah.
That.
And then speech is a different skill altogether. And there's all those types of things. What the game does, though, which according to the developer is part of the realism, but at the end of the day, it's a game, so this is bullshit, is you're not allowed to save wherever you want. The game autosaves like roughly every once 24 hours, just enough to piss you off.
It's like 30 minutes.
It's not. I don't think it's time based.
Oh,
no, it's based
in-game?
on sections.
Yeah.
In-game 24 hours, or how does that work?
Oh, I'm joking. It's just it never. So I
based on,
had
like,
I had a
things.
fight. So in the beginning of the game, you're set off to do a bunch of tasks for your father, and I ended up in a cutscene pranking this other German guy who lives in your town that everyone hates, and throwing shit on his house. And then after that, I went to go collect a debt that someone owed my father, and got in a fight with this guy who beat me. So then, if you do that, you have to find another way to get stuff from him, which is basically stealing. In order to do that, you have to get lockpicks, which lockpicking is the most stupid mechanic on a controller. I've heard it's better on PC, but it is such a challenging mechanic. I don't even know how to describe how hard it is, but you have to basically like rotate both sticks at different speeds in different directions to like match something.
This reminds me of hunting boars in Breath of the Wild.
The easiest thing to do.
We're going to have a lot to say about that. So,
So
just
before
stay
we get
tuned.
there, so I broke all my lockpicks before I can get into the chest. So then I just decided to go fight the guy again. But the game doesn't let you. You can fight him, but it won't progress in any meaningful way. So I had to reload, which was my reload took me back 30 minutes earlier because you can't save it. And then the second time I tried to approach this guy and fight him, he fell through the ground.
I didn't know that there was so much build up to that little video you sent.
Yeah, so
hilarious.
so then I rage quit for the day, and I beat him later. But yeah, so there's a mechanic in the game where the only way you can save is if you have this thing called save your schnapps, or if you sleep in a bed. But it's very frustrating if you want to do anything, and they want you to not be able to save scum, which is dumb because I think there's only certain types of gamers that really do that, and on the rest of us that just want to be able to save so we can play when we want, so that if we run into mistakes or bugs, we can reload without having to reload really far back.
Yeah, well, heck, even if we want to save scum, that should be like the player's decision, you know? Like,
I don't think. I think
whatever.
I think if they really wanted it to be like historically accurate and
no saving,
and there'd just be no saving. You have to play the game straight through, and if you die,
Sega
it's
Genesis.
over. So, I mean, that's like the only way that you could make it. So basically, their reasoning is stupid. But supposedly they're going to patch that. But yeah, so the next part of the tutorial I spent a long time in because you have to flee from your town. And there's a guy that chases you, and I thought it was supposed to be my first victorious sword fight, so I spent half an hour, 45 minutes constantly fighting him and dying. Fortunately, there was an autosave right before, only to find out eventually from the internet that you cannot win.
Oh, it's a Dalton's Golem situation.
Which is annoying because
Exactly, Dalton's
which is a little bit annoying because it's sort of like this. You're supposed to be able to do everything in this like any way you want to, except for that. But I eventually got down to the horse riding thing and made it to the next town. But that's as far as I've been able to play. The only other thing that I have played.
Did you experience Deliverance?
No.
There's Deliverance type things in this game?
It's called Come Deliverance.
They love puns.
Yep.
These
Burt Reynolds is in it.
weirdos.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, so it's I'm definitely interested to play more. It will be very interesting to see how the game looks and feels in 6 months after they've patched it, because they've sold quite a few copies, so they've definitely made their budget.
You told me the amount. What was
I think I read somewhere they've already sold 500,000 or something like that.
It's $60
Wow.
a piece. That's $30 million.
What are other outlets scoring? I know IGN gave it an 8.
It's very low mostly.
Is
I've read
it?
5s out of 10 and 6.
Gee.
A lot of people just don't like bugs, so I don't blame them.
yeah.
So it'll probably be a completely different game like 6 months from now, though.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are. Yeah, there's a couple controversies surrounding the game that are really hollow, but not for this period of time, I guess, where people are accusing one guy at the studio to be racist, so that the whole studio is racist.
gosh.
Of course.
There's all this kind of stuff going on, so I
Wow.
think that probably attributes to the low scores a little bit.
Yeah. And some people have, like, I've seen in comment boards, don't even want the game to have any publicity because, so to be fair, it is the creator of the studio. Like, he's the main guy who did their Kickstarter. But, like, there's 100 people that work there. So, like, kill a game for 100 people because one guy is, whatever.
So,
Yeah.
what are the accusations behind him being racist?
Well, he's a pro gamer gator, which is the whole, like, where, like, Reddit 4chan types got really pissed off that women were saying things about sexism and gaming or whatever.
Yeah, that chick, I can't remember her name.
Anita
Sarkeesian?
something like that, was making those videos and stuff.
Well done.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that it was, part of it was well done, but I think even like really liberal outlets were like, some of this is not accurate, where she'd say like, oh, like this is so sexist because like Mario, I think she said Mario's so sexist because you have to save Peach every time. It's like,
I think there was use of, I think she also, if I remember reading about it once, like she said that women are only sex objects in like a lot of games, and that
definitely
that's
exists.
true.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
But it's not. She made it a lot broader than that. If I remember correctly, I don't want to like misattribute things. But anyways,
yeah, but anyway, so this guy is pro the movement that was like anti all that, so they don't like that. I know that he wore like a shirt for a black metal guy that's racist, and people are linking that to racism. I think that's a little thin because people wear shirts for bands all the time without necessarily supporting their cause.
Like, do you like the music? You don't necessarily. How often do you ascribe to all the theologies of the artists that you listen to? That's such a rare thing.
all of them. Except for like my favorite artist.
I mean, this particular artist is from like the Norwegian second wave black metal scene, and definitely is racist and has all sorts of YouTube videos about everything, and he was in prison for killing a guy. So
okay,
he's
well,
I mean,
anyway, so
what's
what?
weird
Where
about
are we?
But he did create his own role-playing game, so
about racism.
was he killing black
yeah,
people?
I hear it. I don't know if it is. I have heard that it's cool, and I've also heard that it's racist. It's called Mifarog or something. So
Nice.
anyway,
So, anyways, this guy who is being accused of racism sounds
people
to
are saying that there's like, because there's no people of color in the game in like
In Prague, 1430.
Oh, is that really what people were saying?
So yeah, and so there's one. I remember reading something where one person was like had some historical evidence that there were people of color, but at the same time it would have been like and so she was saying like, see, there should be, but at the same time there's like rebuttals to it where it's like it would have been such like a rare occurrence, and like
a traveling merchant going through a city or
so
something like that.
There's a lot of that stuff surrounding the game right now. I don't think it doesn't seem to be really affecting the game that much. Like I haven't really seen any major articles on it from big sites. It's mostly commenters.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like the first comment will be like, "Don't talk about this game, okay?" This guy put in a list of stuff.
I don't think a game is gonna come out for the rest of our lives where something like that doesn't happen.
Well,
yeah.
that was a big thing in the last Call of Duty
in
too,
Super
right?
Mario Odyssey.
And Dunkirk.
Yeah.
it was briefly in Super Mario Odyssey, like, oh, again, we're saving Peach or something.
Yeah, that was definitely a thing. I remember hearing that.
That's
Yeah,
always
that's
been
crazy.
kind of a
Same with
thing,
Zelda, because they wanted. There was like a rumor that it was going to be a female Link, and so everyone was like,
Because the first picture was kind of androgynous.
Yeah, except the whole time you're like trying to support Zelda's goals.
Hey,
and
Don't spoil it, okay?
what do you think people would react if Tomb Raider became a boy?
I think the world would end.
Throw
Larry, if it was
out
Larry
all
Croft.
the games.
Or Larry Leisure Suit Larry Croft.
I am worried we're getting into an area that we don't like.
yeah,
We're traveling down the rabbit hole.
Did you
Yeah.
play anything else, Eric?
Yeah,
Donna?
so the game I probably played the most, which is still not very much, I played more of the Radiant Historia remake, Perfect Chronology.
How was the new art of the chicks?
Man, it's such crap.
I just want to know, okay? Just for my
Um,
friends.
I'm getting ready to like post an Instagram that specifically tags Atlas in it and rant about it.
What is the boob situation? Is what
They
Ranker's trying to ask.
definitely increased the boob size of the main female character.
What
and
is this
then
game rated?
teen. I
Teen.
believe.
Read M for mature.
None of us can play it. Then
More boobs.
But it's definitely still one of the best games from the last 10 years. I would easily put it on a top 10. If you like games like Chrono Trigger and games with a heavy atmosphere like Final Fantasy Tactics, that's basically what the game is.
Because you can't beat Dalton's Golem. I love Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, it's-
For that specifically.
I don't.
I know
understand
all the
reference.
listeners get that super relevant inside joke.
We explained it
We
once.
actually explained
we
it
have explained
on,
it.
Go
Okay.
back to episode 12.
But yeah, so it's like I said. Now that I've had a little more time on it, it's as much as they tried, you just can't ruin a near perfect game. It's so good, and it's so funny how different the story and pacing feels from like a normal Japanese game. Like it doesn't feel. It's just so different. It comes right out of the gate heavy, and so it is really jarring that first bit where there's this really stupid J-Rock intro they added, and then all of a sudden the game is like, mankind's about to die, and everyone's turning into sand, and like you are this special agent guy that's going on this mission, and people are saying you're gonna die on this mission. Like it's like.
You didn't feel pumped?
It's just like such
Get
a funny,
pumped.
and plus it's got great music from, like I said, Yoko Shimomura, who did 15, who's done Legend of Mana, who did Kingdom Hearts. So it's got this really great moody music that's so conflicting with the anime bullcrap they tried to add to it with the new portraits and design. So it's a really weird design choices, but the game itself, the combat is still so fun.
That thing that we talked about where you could hit the enemies and like skip battles, is that?
I haven't gotten to that yet. So
Okay, so that's
if
a
that's
setting or something?
I
or-
don't know. Supposedly I think I read that that's in friendly mode, so I'm not playing in that.
Playing enemy mode.
But the game's not that. It's like a 30-hour game if you do everything, so it's not really that long if you can't skip battles. But there supposedly is a mechanic in there where you can skip trash mobs and just get the experience by slashing them on the map. So I'm sure I'll get to that at some point if it's in game. If it's in like an easy mode of the game, then I probably won't get to it.
I would skip trash mobs any day of the week.
Yeah.
Forever.
It sounded awesome to me.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
idea.
I would do all the boss fights because the boss fights actually involve strategy.
That's what I was talking about.
Wait,
Donna.
Yeah, well,
Like,
actually,
it's-
so this game is interesting because trash mobs involve strategy for a long time as well. So, like I said, the game works on a 3x3 grid, and you have enemies that occupy different spaces, and your goal, and then you have the turn order. So the goal is to set up combos with your fighters, and what you can do is your fighters have abilities like knockback or push left, where you can basically, your goal is to arrange all of the enemy troops into the same space so that every person that attacks it hits all of them at once. So you get, like, in a simple scenario, you might have like 2 guys in the middle and 1 guy on top. So you knock him down one, and then you knock them all over to the back, and then the next guy just gets a free hit on all of them, builds damage with combos and all that kind of stuff. You can mess around with your turn order, let an enemy go first so that you can have all 3 of your characters go at once. There's a lot of fun to it.
How does the leveling system work?
Pretty standard. It's not complicated. You level up, and then you gain skills and things as you go. So there's not a complicated level mechanic. This game, the thing that happens here is a time travel mechanic, like we talked about, and that is the whole like impetus of the game. You're given this book called The White Chronicle. You're on a doomed mission and you die, and then instead of dying, you wind up in this weird outside of time place where these characters explain to you this thing that you have. And then at that point, the game operates where when you reach major decisions in the game, time splits, and then you can go back and redo them. So the first major plot point, and again, this is only like an hour into the game, so it's not really a spoiler, it's kind of the setup, is your best friend in this country. He's kind of starting a new, like a new battalion in the army, and he wants you to be his second in command, whereas you are a special agents officer who does like infiltration missions. So at that point, you can go back in time to that decision and redo the timeline differently, and by doing that, you affect both timelines and then reach kind of like the true conclusion of things. So it's really fascinating, and it's really well done. So yeah, I'll probably be posting music from it on Monday.
Sweet.
Because it's great. But that's pretty much it.
Josh, do you remember the question that you asked to get to all that information?
What?
you asked how the portraits look, remember?
Oh yeah, so I think we already talked about this
No,
last week.
yeah, it was a joke. It was a joke because like it was, anyways.
Before we move on, though, real quick, you've been playing Dragon Quest Builders, though, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm
Sorry.
still playing that. Did I not talk? I talked about that on Thursday, right?
You did. Have you played it since then?
Yeah, I'm right at the end of chapter 3. A lot of things the game does great. Like I said, is that I think something that was off-putting in the description of it is that every chapter you lose all of your inventory and all of your knowledge.
So you have to start from scratch each time.
Yeah, but the game is built around that, so it's actually not frustrating. And then that leads into ultimately the final, not final chapter, but the final mode, which is a normal Minecraft-style free play mode where you can build everything unlimitedly, and on top of that, the challenges that you complete in the main chapters will unlock special recipes for you to build. Like I did something where I collected 150 unique items in chapter 1, so now I can build flame weapons in the free play mode. So there's a lot of stuff like that. But yeah, the game, every chapter is themed differently. So right now in chapter 3, I'm in a desert, basically, kind of like a plain, and there's it's more kind of like there's lava, there's that kind of material around. You build cannons to defend your base, whereas in the first one you build shields to deflect things, and the second one you have to build a ballista to shoot enemies out of the air. In this one you're building cannons to defend your base. There's also railroad tracks to complete for puzzles and stuff like that. So there's a lot going on. So yeah, I'm still really enjoying it. I'll try and have a review out in the next couple of weeks.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is it good for little kiddos?
I think that it could be. I think if anything, I think it would probably be better than a Minecraft, because a Minecraft is so open. I can see there's a certain type of person that enjoys that, but at the same time, this game has a lot more structure. It also looks better, so it's easier to, I think, kind of build things in it. But I think the point...
It's not first person. Sorry, I just want to throw that in there, too.
What's the scariness level?
It's like Mario.
Okay.
Dragon Quest is famous for its art direction from Akira Toriyama. So monsters most of the time
Dragon Ball Z, for those of you who don't know who that is.
Yeah, so he did Dragon Ball Z. He also did Chrono Trigger. So he's got like a lightheartedness to all his monsters. Like some of the monsters in the game are more famous mascots than anything else in the world. Like
slime.
Yeah, slime. You can find slime everything. So,
but I think for kiddos, like, you should wait for Dragon Quest Builders 2 because it's gonna have co-op. So you'll be able to play that.
Yeah,
with
but if
kids
anything, there's a free demo on the eShop right now. You could always try it out and see.
I think I will.
See what the kid thinks, because he might like it just because it's got like adventure swords and stuff like that, but it's not super violent because everything's kind of cartoony. It's got great music. It's got I
really wanted to get Sea of Thieves for him because he's like super into pirates, but it seems a little too body.
Yeah, see, this would be fun because since The Boys 3, I mean, this would be a great thing where it's like, oh, Dad, let's build a castle, or let's try and build this, and then you can do it.
That sounds awesome. Sounds fun. Well, Brank Bank. What are you playing, man?
Okay, well, thank you for asking.
Okay, well,
I want to. I first
He
want
didn't
to
even acknowledge how clever that nickname was. He just gave him.
Bank.
He doesn't hear things. Like when you explain the stats to him, he's like, "Okay, great."
Yeah, just nod.
Did you hear what he said?
Oh, yeah.
No, I didn't.
No. Just
I
leave me alone.
heard what he said, but I didn't understand it.
Hearing versus listening, very different.
I apologize.
I knew he was talking, but
I was just
All right.
too late.
I was just surprised it was me.
apologize.
I'm surprised I was blessed to go second. Okay, hashtag blessed.
Okay.
I real quick want to add that I played the first hour and a half of Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Wait. So why did you stop? I asked you what you're playing, and now you're going to tell us what you're playing? Like, I'm confused by the whole like detour.
I know.
Yeah, no,
I
I want to know
love
what
detouring.
you're not playing. is
Brian,
what
I don't
I'm
think Brian
interested
was listening.
This detour is because I only played like an hour of it, so I didn't really play
Okay, wait.
much
So
of
how
it.
long did you play of the game? You were talking.
That's all.
I didn't
That's
hear what
all.
you
That's all
said,
Donna
though.
played. You're gonna talk
No,
twice as long as that. That's
he
the
played
rule.
like 4 hours.
I
Okay.
didn't play 4 hours.
Probably like 3, because it took me an hour and a half to get through that tutorial plus.
I maybe played 2, and what I did probably would have taken 30 minutes with
It took,
knowledge.
I didn't have to reload a save.
All right, well, what do you think of Kingdom
Anyways,
Come?
I just want to say I totally agree with the save thing.
How racist is it?
It's totally racist.
What is
no.
the boob situation?
That's the
all-
question you asked.
all
That's the
of
question you asked.
I think there's no in-game nudity, even though it has
Oh,
a
really?
mature rating.
Yeah,
for
and it
nudity.
actually says nudity. Yeah, on the back.
Well,
So that's
nudity,
false
so-
advertisement.
Maybe
male
at
butts over and
in-game
over.
purchases later on after patching.
You get to pay for the nudity in this game.
I was curious about this because in the trailer for the game, it's kind of got like a Witcher vibe with like the romances shrine,
Yeah.
but it's nothing like that. And I
Interesting.
actually just did a quick Google search, like, is there actual in-game nudity? And there's lots of hilarious comments on the Warhorse developer site where people are like, is there going to be full featured in-game nudity? I don't want it. It's just like,
but I won't say no to
I don't
it.
want it. Like, I don't need the nudity. I just want it for realism. Like,
So it was back then.
it's just how. Yeah.
Game of Thrones, baby.
Hey, Assassin's Creed Origins just has random topless girls running around.
Well,
Does
that's
it?
'cause
I'm
was
sure it
They
does.
also have a
Egypt.
museum mode now.
And because Michael
they?
Bay had creative rights in the game too.
We need more
Because
explosions.
it was in ancient Egypt where not every single tribe wore tops. I'm sure they did their historical research. Anyways, back in Kingdom Deliverance, I also wish that you could.
Wait, you get a minute for every time you died, so the clock's ticking.
I didn't die at all in that game,
All right,
so
well, we're done.
All right, let's hear it, Brian.
I think they should allow you to remap the buttons. That's all I'm going to say. Because
they don't?
There's
no
no
and
control
the-
layout
Yeah, you
options?
cannot do that.
And the
Huh,
buttons
really?
are crazy. The mapping, it's like up to go into inventory, up on the D-pad to go into inventory.
Oh.
I think they probably, because the combat is so specific, I bet it would be so easy to screw that up. But like
Oh.
the sprint and jump buttons are in the total wrong place.
Yeah, that's the main thing. The
So
X and the B.
because your triggers are all your attack buttons.
Yeah.
And when you are in combat, you enter into like a combat mode essentially where you don't control your camera. You literally just circle around each other with the left stick, and your right stick controls the angle from which you slash from.
Well, I thought
So
it just controlled your movement. It also controls your slashing thing.
yeah, it's the whole.
Sorry, the right stick. I thought I meant the.
Yeah,
left
no, the
stick.
left stick, but there's no camera control in combat
okay.
once you're in combat.
So is it easy to get used to though the controls, or is it just noticeably?
but you do get used to them. But the problem is that I mean, it's hard for me to say because the only fight that you're supposed to win so far in the game is the fist fight, which is not that hard,
And
but
you
it just
lost
takes
that.
you it takes you a minute to like get your bearings around it. But your controls for unarmed melee are actually the opposite than they are for sword fighting. So your heavy attack is your weak attack, and your weak attack is your heavy attack. And you're
Realistic.
also not good at it, so you can't string together combos without getting interrupted. Like there's just like it's not fluid like it will become as your character grows.
Okay.
So you have to both get used to the controls and get better.
But that's probably the point, right?
Yeah.
And also, my other thing to add is the economy in the game is very, at least in the intro, seems like it will be very brutal. Like you have to buy charcoal for your dad. You have to buy 10 pieces, and if you win the battle with the guy and you take the stuff in and sell it, you'll get exactly 10 pieces. So after you leave the tutorial,
I had extra money.
I had zero. I literally left with zero. So maybe
Did
there's
you
a
sell
way.
the axe too?
Yeah, I sold the axe and the
Hammer and
hammer.
nails?
Yep.
Yeah, I had extra.
I maybe
haggled the
did
guy, though.
I maybe did my haggling wrong, but anyways, it does not seem like it's going to be Skyrim or some other game where
You're just swimming in
running-
gold.
Yeah,
Well, I
like
think you kind of
towards-
grow the ranks in nobility, so I'm sure you can amass
Yeah.
a wealth of some kind.
Well, and
but-
also I've heard Save Your Schnapps is expensive and people have to buy it, so I'm sure there's ways to get gold, but I just think I think it's kind of cool. I think when
Yeah,
in-game
it's cool.
economies are done well, it's interesting.
yeah.
Like versus like, oh, I got $50 million.
Like Diablo
what am I
3
gonna-
or-
what am I
yeah.
gonna do with all of this?
Yeah.
Throw it away on
Yeah.
potions, I guess.
I got 50 million gold, which can buy me 10 crystals.
Which can let me play for 2 hours. I've also been playing Owlboy on Switch.
How is that?
It's good.
It's a real hoot.
I was originally intending to review it for Super BS, and I might get around to it, but it's not holding my interest. It's a 2D, not platformer, but like almost a Metroidvania game, but way more linear, and you don't travel back to the same places. I actually don't even really know what to explain. It's like a 2D adventure game.
Is that
So-
Because I saw pictures where like you have to fly through these little like mazes and stuff.
There's
right?
a lot of that, yeah.
Okay.
So those are all fairly linear. You'll do some light puzzle solving. It's cool. It's a lot of fun, but I am not compelled to play it. And the main game I've been playing is Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, which I mentioned a little bit last week.
Totally hates it. Doesn't want to play it anymore.
Yeah, it's weird. I bounced off that game twice because like
Keeps
others
getting tarred and feathered.
over and over and over again. But I bounced off it twice, and like I feel like this whole week we're just talking about Czech Republic because Kingdom Come and Witcher. But this game takes place in Prague. And
Kingdom Comes Bosnia.
Bosnia?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Bohemia.
Oh,
Bohemia, which
Bohemia.
was its present day
Bohemia, 1403.
Prague.
Same place.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Well,
but
it's not. It's present day Czech.
Yeah, okay.
Didn't know I was
Czech
playing with
Republic.
historians.
Well, Czech Republic's where Witcher was, so when you mentioned that, it just reminded me of each
Yeah.
other. But anyways, yeah, so you travel around Prague and
You make progress.
progress. Have any of you guys played any
Check
Deus
this
Ex
out.
games?
I heard they're the worst thing ever from you.
Yeah, they're the worst thing
I've
ever.
never played any of.
I played
any game.
Human Revolution.
Okay, do you like it?
I loved it.
Okay, so it's like that, but good. Like that one had a lot of issues where
That
it was
Josh's
really
favorite
buggy.
game.
Yeah.
It's really buggy. The first person shooting wasn't very good. It was like the controls I didn't think were very good. When you bumped into third person, the shooting wasn't good either. But augmenting your guy and like traveling around and talking to people was really cool, right? Did you enjoy it?
Right?
I did. Right. Right.
So I have probably played 10 hours of Mankind Divided now, and
That's
the game's,
Today.
No, I mean in the last week, which is a lot of time. And the game is supposedly only takes 10 to 20 hours to beat. But I am still at the first third of the game because I just love jumping around and getting new augs. And then like, oh, I can sneak into here. So I'm pretty much playing the game totally non-lethally. So I haven't killed a single person.
So I watched Brank play it for about 20 minutes the other day, and he did jump around and die, and that was
I jumped off a roof
thrilling.
and I've seen where you could go, but I got a better actually jumping ability since I played last because I
An
got more
og, if you
practice
will.
kits. A new
Better
og.
og.
It really is good, and it makes me sad to think that because it didn't sell as much as Square Enix wanted, they're probably not going to make a sequel. And I was reading an article about this, about It and Prey a few weeks ago, where it's like those games, they just can't make them anymore because they cost too much money to make. and
Well,
they
it'll
don't
be
see-
great when they finally start saying that about open world third person games.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't think. I mean, yeah.
How could you not think that they won't say that's the same thing? Those games are first person explore games for the exact same reason that every game is third person open world now, because that became a trend, and now they're too expensive to make. The third world games we're talking about, they cost more money than that even.
Yeah, but they're gonna have to get a lot of them out, and there hasn't even been like, I guess Kingdom Come is kind of open world, but like there hasn't been one yet this year. You know what I mean? Like there were a lot that came out last year, but I just don't think we're gonna see like so many this year that they're gonna be like, oh, I mean, you could be right, because I would have never thought that this style game would have become like too costly, because this started way before BioShock, but it got really popular with the first BioShock. And it's just great. I haven't gotten that far in the story because I just don't care. I just want to run around and have fun and solve side
You're really
missions.
selling
and,
this game to me right now.
Oh, do you like the story only or something?
No, I just you're
Brian's
like,
listening to the story, he's just not hearing it.
Well, I'm hearing, not listening.
no, I liked the story with the last one. I thought it was
Yeah,
compelling enough.
My favorite thing though is exploring the worlds and like, oh, I can do this mission where I can either jump through this vent up here, or I could go lethally in the doorway, or I could hack this door frame and get the code and unlock this thing. Like that's why I enjoy the game.
I think what Brank is really trying to say is that he just likes options.
Yeah.
Any sort of game with options.
Yeah, any game that doesn't give it an option is going to have a bad time.
That's why you should really play Gradius 3.
Yeah.
Only.
Only options.
Option.
Best options.
Okay,
man.
I know it said it's a space shooter, linear, but I was expecting it to be let me do whatever I want, and I
Yeah,
couldn't.
it said
Where are the
options.
odds?
It's not an open space.
Anyways, everybody should play Deus Ex. I almost bought everybody here a copy because it was $4, and then I checked, and the shipping from the Square Enix store.
Czech Republic.
I checked, and the shipping from the Square Enix store was $10. So I was like, whatever. I'm not gonna do this.
What's the art style of Owlboy?
Oh, Owlboy. It's
It's like animated.
pixel art. Yeah,
Yeah.
pixel.
Okay.
But it's really
Looks
well
cool,
done.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really cool. Like it's visually very impressive, and story wise, it's kind of cool. But I don't know. I want to run around Prague right now and do whatever I want and get people in trouble who are breaking the law. Drahomir, you heard me. And everybody who played the game, they know.
He's
that
gonna
reference is.
explore those vents and lift up those refrigerators.
I could have killed
all over
Drahomir,
you.
but I turned him into the real police, okay? And
Wow.
they had a shootout with Drahomir, and I stayed
That's so
unscathed.
noble.
Yeah, I did that because I'm a good guy. Merciful was what it gave me the extra XP on.
He's talking about Owlboy still.
I was like, you idiot! And I got the extra XP for Merciful.
So Jank and Stank.
With his new Augs, you can see mice better at night, right?
Yeah, that's what I do.
For eating.
I did get the Augs to let me see through the walls just because I like shutting off robots.
Yeah.
far
Now
away.
owls are nocturnal. Is Owlboy mostly at nighttime?
and he can turn his head 360 degrees. Jank and Stank, what are you playing?
I have been playing a game called Fae.
Real quick, we should start calling you Jankenstein in honor of Jake.
I miss that guy.
So-
Veet, who went to Geet, right? Didn't he go to like Geet or something like that? Maybe the last time we talked?
Switch McGitch?
Yeah, whatever
dumb
his
name.
stupid names are. Thank you for listening, and we want to have you back on.
Jankenstein.
All right. I've been playing Fae.
Now, let me just interrupt you for a second. This word "fae" it sounds like you're starting to say a word and you're not finishing it.
Do you mean Bay? Is that what you're getting at?
Fade?
Michael
I
Bay?
mean like iron
Fail.
on the periodic table. That's what I'm talking about.
So you're playing a
Is
game
that
about
iron?
iron, huh?
Yeah.
That's hard, man.
No, it's a game by EA's indie studio, Zoink I think it's called, and they did Unraveled.
Of course,
Okay,
we
real
had
quick,
like a zoink noise we could insert.
Boing, boing.
I want to talk about that sentence you just mentioned. EA's independent studio.
I think they're publishing it.
So
EA's
owns
publishing it.
Okay.
And it's made by the indie studio Zoink, but
Okay.
it's the funnest game that I've ever played that doesn't have an actual story to it, or it has a story but there's no narrative. And
What's
So
the
you
game
think it's
all
better
about?
than Super Mario World?
Wow.
Greatest-
Well,
Jerk.
Wow, Josh.
you're putting words in my mouth now. No, you play as a fox, and you're in this forest, but everything is all polygons, so nothing is like there's not really any texture to anything. It's all polygons, and there's other creatures running around, and the forest was invaded by these shadow creatures, and they're basically running around trapping all these animals and feeding it to like this beam to
They
power.
trap parrots, Polygon.
And Pokemon. No, they. So it's your job to basically go around and you liberate these different creatures, and every time that you help one of them, they give you the skill that these animals possess. So you wander around the forest, you build up your skills, and you can like one of them is like gliding, and there's
The Ogs.
I was just
you
gonna
get-
say it sounds
you get
a
your
lot
Ogs,
like
yeah,
Deus
and you
Ex.
can like you can communicate with plants, and if you jump over the plants, it'll let you glide higher or jump really high. Once you liberate all the animals, you have to fight, or not fight, but you have to. There actually is no combat in
You
this
have to
game.
kiss.
Yeah,
You will hug in the shade.
How are the kissing Ogs in this game?
Oh, they're fantastic. No, yeah, there's no combat in this game. Like when you get close to an enemy, you have to hide from them.
Are there wombats in the game?
Wombat? Actually, yes, there are wombats. They have antlers though. But
how far into the game are you?
I am 6 hours in right now.
Nice.
So
You've almost kind of beat it, I bet.
yeah, no, I have one more animal to liberate, and then whatever ending is after that.
What are you playing it on?
There's only one mode, so there's no options there.
No, what
Dave.
platform?
Oh,
What
sorry.
platform?
I actually thought
That's
you
what
was
I thought.
being
I asked
difficulty
you
as
that
well.
question because you always play on baby mode.
I'm playing
play
on
on
Nintendo
regular.
Switch.
Doy.
So
Switch
it's
McGitch.
it's a very beautiful game.
Yeah, I picked up the demo for it. I actually haven't given it a shot yet,
Wait,
but it looks
there's a demo
interesting.
for it?
dude, it's fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I should have.
check it out. I mean, because
I
honestly,
could be wrong
like,
about that, but I remember there was a night where I downloaded a bunch of demos on Switch.
Got really drunk and downloaded
I
a bunch of demos.
I got lit.
lit, man. I was like,
hammered.
demos?
And I just downloaded it.
Demolition.
But yeah, the game's only $20. So like, if you do like the demo, I think it's worth picking up. It's got. I'm assuming.
Don't
it's
tell
gonna-
me what to spend my money on.
Hey, you know what? This guy right here was getting mad at me for wanting to buy Faye. Why can't you just play all the same games I'm playing?
Yeah,
man?
Why can't you
Dave.
just buy the same game on multiple
Yeah.
platforms 100 times like me?
Pick up
Yeah,
Owlboy,
Dave.
and then talk about it on the podcast. But I'm gonna talk about it first, so you won't have anything to talk about
What's
afterwards.
great, Josh, is because we're on an
Yeah.
audio podcast. I revealed Dave to be the guy that you're talking about.
Great reveal.
No, but it's a great game. Like it's very calming. There's not a lot of like the soundtrack is nature. There's not really any music to it. You just hear the sound of like streams and the wind blowing and trees and the different animals making noises. And you go around and you talk to plants. Like you sing to the plants and the other animals, and that's how you like get them to help you do things. So I'm assuming it's gonna be like 10 hours by the time I'm done playing it, but I think it's worth the $20 price tag.
Cool.
You gonna put a review out?
Oh yeah.
Sweet. Anything else?
That's all I've been playing right now.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll
Wait.
enlighten.
What have you been playing, David boy?
I will tell you. I'll tell you right now. Well, it's been a while since I've been on, so let's do a quick recap of the last month of gaming I've been doing. I've been playing some Hearthstone. Beat a few more dungeon runs with the kobolds.
Did you beat the whole thing yet or no?
No, I haven't played it in a couple weeks, but I beat a few more characters on a dungeon run, so that's been pretty fun. Picked up Diablo 3 again. Picked up my Necromancer, which has been really cool.
What level is you?
What level? Azul. My Necromancer's like 36, I believe. Cool. And then my my Crusader is like in the 50s. He's in Act 5, but I kind of burned out on Act 5 because I'm at this weird spot. Every once in a while, you get through these sections in the game where your skills are a little bit underpowered versus the monsters that you're fighting. So I'm kind of in one of those rut moments right now.
You have to grind, or
you can't. I mean, you can grind, but you shouldn't have to. I haven't had to grind in that game yet. Maybe I'm approaching that point where you do. But the part that I'm playing at now, it's maybe my skills are just need to be retooled. But I'm at this point of the game where it takes me about 7 seconds to kill one trash mob. And in a game like Diablo, that's just excessive.
You should be less than a sec, man.
You should be like blowing up waves of guys with, in 7 seconds. You shouldn't have to focus on one guy.
This is Dynasty Warriors, man.
It's Dynasty Warriors. So I was playing that for a while. It's been really fun. Playing a lot of Mario with my son.
You've been watching an award-nominated cartoon too, right?
Which is the Mario cartoon that you've been watching? Is that it's just the cartoon, or does that have the wrestlers?
The humans at the beginning.
Not wrestlers, but it does have real people in it.
Yeah, no, they're wrestlers.
Oh, they're wrestlers?
I think the main guy, the fat guy that plays Mario.
Oh, he's an actual WWF guy.
I think he's a wrestler.
Oh, okay, I can see that.
Yeah, that was the one that was on Sunday
Dude,
mornings.
I remember I had a cassette tape of that once where they like ate spaghetti or something.
Dude, it's bad. It's
so great.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
So, every episode starts, it's like a completely unrelated plot. Like there's a people plot, and then there's like a cartoon side plot that has almost nothing to do with it. So in this one that I was watching with my son, Mario's eating a bunch of pasta and bread and stuff, and then Luigi is playing chess with some like sewer guy that you don't know who he is. He's just like a sewer worker.
Just like the games.
And then this like little girl comes in who's she's Native American, and she comes in and says her name, and it's like a Native American name, like runs with premise, or like the South Park. I don't know what it is, but it's something like that. And she comes in crying, and she basically swindles Mario and Luigi into throwing her this like really big birthday party, and it's hilarious. And then that ends.
Still better than the Mario Brothers movie, right?
Right, where the actor didn't even know it was a game.
John Leguizamo, the man. Okay.
You know it's a game.
They're remaking a movie, right? They're making another Mario movie
with Illumination Studios.
But who knows when? Because Miyamoto said something really weird about it, where he's like,
I don't know.
He said something where whenever if we ever reach a point with an idea where we don't think that it's good, then we like halt it. So he said that about the movie. So it's kind of cryptic. Like, is he saying that they decided that whatever script or production is happening is just not good, so they're just stopping it?
I don't know. It's with Illumination, but they are. I think Detective Pikachu will be out first, which is awesome that exists.
Woo.
But anyways, back to.
I don't think a Mario movie could ever be good. I'm gonna say it.
Will be amazing.
There's no way.
It's the best story ever told. Okay,
right. They'll stick to the minion formula. There'll be fart
There's
jokes
another Mario cartoon where it doesn't have the human guys, and it's like Mario 3 or something.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Isn't it just like a one-off? It's like a longer cartoon for the game.
I don't remember
is it a series?
I think so, because when I was a kid and you see that kind of stuff, you're like, whoa, there's like a show of my game, like kind of thing, and it's like mind-blowing. Right. And all that stuff was really elusive because it was either on cable or I didn't know how to like look at air times and stuff.
You couldn't access it. Yeah,
you get the TV guide, man. That's how
in one of the cartoons, Toad actually took the top of his head off.
Well,
I can see that happening in this one. In this one, he's like a Toad is voiced by like a tough New Yorker guy.
Nice.
It is really, really strange. Anyways, my son was getting a little bit scared by it, and I was like, all right, cool, we'll just watch something else. And I definitely jumped at that because it was.
So you think it's scary? Because it's like Peter Pan and stuff. It's not that scary, but
he didn't like Bowser, and then he also didn't like the dungeon that they were in. There's like little spikes and skill. He doesn't like the claustrophobic thing. I don't know.
Has he seen Bowser? Has he seen Bowser in Odyssey? Because I feel like you guys have been playing that.
Yeah, no, I think he's okay with Bowser, especially because we beat him, and I also explained to him that Bowser just like wants to be friends with Mario and Peach, and like he feels left out.
It's actually kind of true. There's like stuff like they have such a weird relationship because even like in the games where Bowser takes on a much more menacing form, like Mario Galaxy or Mario 64. Like in the end, it's like when he gets beaten, it's always like super goofy and sort of
you
like,
beat me, guys. You got me.
Then you eat cake together, just like you should.
So I've been playing Mario. I think I am about 460 moons, so approaching that
darker side of the moon,
darker side. And I think the way actually I was playing solely Mario because I have Zelda in the back burner, but I didn't want to play it because I didn't want to get into Zelda and then stop playing Mario. But my wife actually made a good point. She's like, "Oh, you should start playing Zelda and then save Mario for when you play with Eli." So like hop on, grab like 5 or 6 moons, and then blah blah blah. So I thought that was a good idea. So I'm doing that right now.
Well, it's a dumb idea because you don't grab moons in Zelda. So
right, you
tell your wife how it works.
Okay, Aaron. So that's been cool. So about 460 moons on Marmar. Started playing Zelda, and I almost sold Zelda back to the store.
Oh my goodness!
Wait, guys, Brian's gonna say something about this.
No, I don't need. Just continue your story.
Okay, all right. So I'm trying to play a game in a modern age where people don't just have 30 hours to kill at a time. And I wanted to get the warm doublet so I wouldn't have to constantly be popping chili peppers while exploring snow areas. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll read this guy's little diary thing. I'll figure out how to make the recipes, the surf and turf fry, and then, it'll be really fun. So he's like, okay, you have to go to this forest or whatever, hunt the boars. I was like, okay, cool. So the first time I go there, I have just a couple of arrows, and I find a boar and I take a couple shots, and I'm like, oh crap, I'm out of arrows. So I have to go farm a bunch of little goblin things, come back with a good amount of arrows. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to fight these boars. And so I'm chasing a boar. I shoot it once and I don't hit a headshot. So it's running away, and I get another shot off and I kill it, and it falls off that cliff, that precipice. And so I rage quitted then.
Good.
And then I picked it up again later that night, and I'm just in the forest, and I see probably about one boar every 5 minutes. And I sneak up to it. I get within shooting range. It smells me or something and runs away. And I repeat that process for probably an hour. And I just got so fed up with it that I finally pulled out my bomb arrow, and I was like, I don't want to waste a bomb arrow, but I can't play any more time. I can't spend any more time on this because I'm literally sweating. Do you ever get so stressed out over something so stupid that you start sweating and you I don't know. I was getting really irritated. Anyways,
just finish the damn story.
I'm trying.
Jerk.
I'm trying.
That was quite the build up here.
So I shoot it with a bomb arrow, and I was like, okay, finally, I see the meat on the ground. I can make this stupid recipe. And I see it, and I pick it up, and it says seared meat. And I screamed aloud and turned the game off.
Oh man, that's one of the best things about that game is how
coolest thing.
How it's if you kill a monster with a flame thing, it's it turns their meat into cooked. Yeah.
You get more hearts for it.
Don't hunt in Death Mountain. You have 1 second to pick everything up before it's cooked.
Death Mountain is. Anyways,
I don't even want to know about that.
Continue with the end of this story so we can.
All right, so I rage quit it again. And then the next day, I was like, I'm just going to give this game one more flipping chance. And I log in, and there's a boar right in front of me. I don't even move, shoot it once, and it kill it. And then I was like, why couldn't that just happen last night after spending 3 hours doing this?
You need to adjust your perspective of the game, though, because the point of, a lot of the point of the game is sort of just kind of milling around.
Yeah, it's a very chill, explore the world.
Yeah, so if you want to discover the fun and all that stuff, you can.
It's hard.
I would. Yeah, it's not. It's the funnest game.
One of the funnest games ever made.
I'm having fun now.
I tried to hate it just because it was so popular, and part of me likes to be contrarian, and I couldn't do it. I was in love. It's so good. But yeah, you gotta have the mindset oh, I just want to explore this area and see what happens. Hunting gets really easy because what happens is you sneak and you get impatient with it and you move too fast. So sneaking and walking all the way is sometimes not good enough. Sometimes you have to even like sneak step where you're like barely pushing the analog stick, and you'll find that by making those adjustments, you'll actually save more time because you like walk really slow and they're like, oh, this is taking too long, I'm gonna walk fast, and then everything runs away. But then eventually you'll find clothes that make it so you pretty much are invisible.
I know I wanted to buy that stealth suit like right away, but of course it's like 50 billion rupees.
Yeah,
just get ready because the economy gets a lot rougher than that stealth suit.
Well, once you get a little bit of a grip, I can show you how to make like 10,000 rupees in 1 minute. So
Ooh, that sounds fun.
yeah, it's really great.
It's like one of those success books. Donna is like a success to rupees.
Well, I found because there's a couple different places where you can. So the one that I found useful for a while is when you get to the snow areas and you can do snow bowling. And there's a certain spot where if you stand and bowl every single time, you will get a strike, and that gets you 300 rupees. But the better one is to hunt dragons, because once you do this thing where you
don't spoil too much. I don't even know if he's come across some of these characters.
I don't know.
Well, it's not really. It's spoil. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil. But once you figure out how to access that, you can find them in a spot where you can literally like reload it every 10 seconds and hunt them for parts, and then they sell for crazy amounts of money. So it's the economy is punishing until you get good, and then it's like,
just get good.
Get good, scrub.
You jerk.
But like you're gonna find that
more.
there's gonna be shrines that take you 1 minute to do, and then shrines where it's like, oh my gosh, this is insane, where you're like constantly redoing it.
I left a few and literally came back later because I
That's
would
one of the
try them
tips in the loading screens.
Yeah, my biggest tip is turn off all the HUDs, like turn off all the minimap stuff. It's so useless, and it makes the game so much more immersive.
Okay.
If you go to your options, you can turn on pro mode, and the only thing that's useful out of all that stuff is because basically the game is designed so well that everything that you need to go to looks interesting on the map, like as you're walking.
Your visual,
yeah. But you'll find the shrine thing where it like blinks when there's shrines nearby.
Yeah.
That will still turn on even if you turn off all that map stuff.
Oh, you mean I just got all those basic runes from Pura, whoever her name is.
So you can turn it off and it's great. Like it just makes it that much more. I was like afraid to do that for 5 minutes, and then I played the entire game that way. And
okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Before we because I got to take a potty break soon. Tell the listeners though what you told me.
What do you think about potty? Is it you're gonna pee?
Yeah, no, I also have to potty, also known as the New York Party. Outside. Don't potty just yet. But tell the listeners what you told both me and Donna off air about it in relations to Kingdom Hearts.
Oh,
and this
what I described
segment.
the boar thing as? Oh yeah, it's the Kingdom Hearts gummy ship of 2017.
But to be fair, it's not, because
not all you do one time.
It was a
it's
one
really
text line joke. I don't.
Right? No, I get it. But technically, the gummy
like
ship
that.
you hated because it was lame. This was something that you like, but it wasn't something you were terrible at, unless you didn't tell us that after all these years.
I was terrible at gummy ship.
Yeah,
I wasn't terrible at it. I just hated it, and it made me quit the game. And this almost made me quit this game. So.
I was like wanting to facepalm this entire story.
Well, anyways, the moral of the story is that I conquered my fears and beat the game. No, I haven't beat the game, but I'm having a lot of fun in the game now.
As soon as you beat the plateau, you finish the game. That's the hardest part. Is the first 4 shrines.
I am having a lot of fun in the game though. Now I am exploring. I got to Kakariko Village in probably the worst way possible. I found this like centaur dude on the road.
Lionel, you shouldn't see them for a while.
And then I saw this like sleeping troll giant guy.
Oh, the one yeah, those guys.
Awesome. I saw some really scary stuff. And then I was like in the snow, and then I was doing fine because I'm gonna wear doublet, obviously. But then I started like scaling this mountain, and it's like it is becoming extra cold. You're still gonna take damage.
Yeah,
you have to get full. Like
where did you go?
He probably went to the left to what is it? The Sahara, the desert tribe, the Gerudo.
I didn't go to the Gerudo. What I did was I followed this this trail through this like valley thing, and then it ended up in
the dual peaks.
I don't know.
I went to Hateno Village and went north. I mean,
it sounds like Hateno Village because there's a mountain north of there.
So where I ended up though was like where there's like these like ruins are, and there's like a lake, and there's all these like chameleon monster guys, and they're
That's-
swimming in the water.
Those guys' names.
Sounds like if it's a
Lizardos, or-
big
Yeah,
lake, it's
Lizardos.
I know where that is. It's the De La or something. It starts with a D.
So-
You should go a little bit north if
that-
you want to like stay on the.
You're near like
story
the
path.
grasslands and stuff. Yeah.
So I already got through that area, and then what that did, that led me to that centaur guy, and then I had to go around him, and then I scaled all these mountains in this like super weird way, and then I crested this peak, and then I was like basically in the Hateno. Where's like the
Village.
research lab?
Hateno Village.
Hateno Village.
Yeah, and then I ended up in Hateno.
Okay,
Village.
so you didn't go to Kakariko?
I went to
No, you went to
Kakariko first,
Okay.
now he's
and then
at
she
Hateno.
told me to go to Hateno, and I didn't know the way to go.
Yeah.
So I went that way.
After
Yeah.
you do that, if you want to like try to finish the game because it is like in some reasonable amount of time instead of putting like the 80 hours most of us put in at this table, I'd go to Zora next. Otherwise, you're
okay.
going to be playing the game. I mean, I love playing it. I love playing every minute of the 80 hours, but
Yeah, exploring. You want to spend days where you just explore and find shrines because it's so fun filling out the map.
I think
As long as I make progress, I don't really care because I like doing the shrines, I like doing that
Yeah.
the exploring and stuff like that. I just want to have fun, and hunting the boars was not fun.
it's very fun.
hunting is pretty fun once you just get better at it.
I think I did get better at it, and Brank told me to turn off motion controls, which
Yeah.
Oh, definitely
I did,
do
so
that.
he
Yeah.
didn't realize they were
yeah.
always auto on, and I was
Yeah.
like, that makes the shooting almost impossible.
It was
Yeah.
really
'Cause
tough.
You've been playing in portable, right?
Was that the dog ears?
Yeah. No, portable is when you're holding the whole system with.
Oh,
everything
either
connected.
portable or dog ears. Yeah, depending on what I want to do.
It doesn't matter which one you're in. Both of them will have motion controls auto on. So like if you're holding it in portable, it's so easy to move your hands even just slightly.
Yeah. Turn off-
and it will
Turn off
change
motion
your-
controls and turn off the HUD. It'll
Okay,
it'll
I'll try
just
that.
look cooler. You'll just be more. You'll get more of the actual game where it's like this is about exploring, and then you'll just be like, well, I don't have any like mini map icons that are directing me where to go.
They still keep the hot, cold, all the stuff you need though, right? When it shows up. I
yeah.
didn't actually. I left the HUD on, but
it's you. The game always tells you when it's too cold. It's rarely. There's only one. There's only two areas of the game where it's too hot, and one of them is not too hot. It's you just catch fire. So you need a specific. Like you need different armor for both of those places. And then most of the places that are too cold, it tells you on the screen like it's too cold. But you can
Or you start breathing.
but there's
smoke or whatever.
multiple ways
visibly
around that
shows
because
you everything,
there's
too.
better cold armor, but you can also just wear a flame weapon and that warms
that's
you
cool.
up too.
Oh, really? That's fun.
Because in the you can buy when you go into that village with the
In the Rito village, yeah. But
Yeah.
I spent
You're
so
not- he's not
when
in
I
Rito, though.
when I explored the game, I did the crazy cold Hebra mountain area before Rito Village, and that's
Okay.
the coldest part in the game. I'm pretty sure. And I didn't have the armor, so I wore my warm doublet and wore a flame sword.
Oh wow! I didn't realize that. That's cool. I know
Yeah.
it heats. I use a lot of flame weapons for like not hitting, but
Yeah,
like
it
melting
warms
stuff.
it warms you up. It's so cool. Yeah.
Do you ever get armor and gear and junk that doesn't break after like 10
Armor
swings?
never breaks.
Okay,
Armor never
okay,
breaks.
all right, good. That's good.
Gear
What about
always-
Weapons always break. There's nothing unbreakable. They're all of the best stuff. The Master Sword doesn't technically break. It just needs
it has
to
to
recharge.
Okay.
yeah.
And then you're
You're gonna meet a character that will help you increase inventory space.
Does he
It's-
roll with you or like?
No, you'll
but
meet him.
the only thing is that character is useless if you don't actually just explore everywhere.
Yeah, for
Have you
sure.
found Korok seeds yet?
Yeah, I found
Okay.
3 or 4 on the plateau.
Yeah,
You'll need
so
those.
you'll get used to patterns with Korok seeds where it's like you'll start to see like, oh, there's 3 trees exactly on this hill next to each other. There's probably something here, or there's a rock formation here.
Yeah,
that
it's a
looks weird.
circle, but
right,
there's
right.
one
And-
missing.
and it won't repeat itself in the sense of like here's the exact same design, but it'll be like the same concept, or you'll
Little
see
anomalies.
yeah, or you'll see like a lake with a circle of rocks or flowers in it. It's
Yeah.
like maybe I should dive through that.
Yeah.
But you want to get those because those will help you increase your inventory space eventually.
Oh, that's what those things do? They're
Yeah.
like gold scutula type thing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
There's no
Yeah.
Skulltulas. It's funny because there's no Skulltulas which have been part of the Zelda franchise since
Ocarina?
Ocarina of Time, but there's Lionels which haven't been in a Zelda game since Zelda 1.
yeah, it's cool that
Are those the
they did
centaurs?
some. Yeah,
Yeah, they're actually
okay.
they're like
They're
lion
crazy.
Yeah, they're like
hard to
lions.
fight.
Yeah,
centaur dudes.
I
They look
remember
like Ganon kind of.
I remember when I was a little kid playing the original Zelda, and like if you want to get the upgraded sword, you have to go through those guys, and they're hard. And like I remember doing it. It's like they're freaky because there's nothing like them in that game.
Did you get to go through a thunderstorm yet? I was just curious because
No,
the game
I
changes a lot with metal stuff.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
want to say anything
I had
else.
my first
but-
Ganon. I had my first Ganon Nightfall thing.
Okay.
Oh,
the
Blood
red,
Moon?
the blood
Yeah.
moon. You'll see that a lot.
Rises.
Yeah, it was like that.
That game
Have you
is
done any of
so-
the towers yet?
I mean, just the towers on the plateau.
Okay.
And then I've done a few extra shrines outside of the plateau. I just did the one where you, the wind one with the glider. It's like in Kakariko Village.
Oh, it's a wind shrine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those are fun.
okay.
Yeah.
Some
you just like glide
shrines,
around.
When you start increasing your stats with the glider with the shrine stuff,
I did one on the plateau. I did
Heard
heart.
stamina is the best thing. to-
Well, you
go after.
can max you. So there's you can get 30 hearts in the game if you max out all your hearts, but you can max out your stamina wheel, which gives you 2 more stamina wheels,
Ooh.
and
Yeah.
still get 28 hearts.
yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
Get,
So-
you can't get
That's-
both, even if you do all 120 shrines. But
With the,
internet,
DLC, you can, I think.
You can't. You can't. It's still you can only get to because only the first 4 shrines give you.
Oh, that's right. So you can get
yeah.
one more heart.
So do you recommend trading off then?
I
Well,
do. I
I-
did at the beginning. I did trade offs, but then I moved to stamina at the end. because you need
Basically,
stamina.
so I got to about 10 hearts. Then I increased my stamina 1 full bar. Then I did hearts, and then I did the rest stamina.
just do like if you're dying a ton,
Yeah,
get
do
stamina.
heart.
You know, I mean
Oh,
heart.
do heart.
Sorry.
You need 13 hearts to get the Master Sword, if I remember.
Yeah. So
correctly.
so start working on that for sure.
Okay.
Don't like put it off, but you're gonna climb a mountain and you're gonna lose stamina really quick, and it's gonna be frustrating. So you're gonna want to put points into that.
Are there other ways to get stamina and heart increases aside from that?
no.
Like heart
Food.
pieces?
You could get but you can get
You can make
temporary.
potions and
Yeah, there's no
elixirs
heart
and stuff.
pieces or anything like that. It's all
Okay.
shrines, but there's 120 shrines, so that's like the big meat of the game. There are things though, like you can find climbing gear.
Yeah.
So there's gear that
Okay,
makes you
and
climb
it
faster.
like makes your stamina
And there's
reduce.
food.
it
faster,
reduces
slower?
how it makes you actually. So the climbing gear doesn't make your stamina reduce slower.
climb
It makes you
faster.
climb faster.
Gotcha. So, but you end up spending less stamina.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We should maybe.
Yeah, I think I need to take a break too.
Hey yeah.
All right, guys, we are back, but I wanted to share with you a quick word from one of our sponsors, Innovate. Innovate Inc. was created by a group of millennials, charged with term there, who are immersed in the latest technology and trends. As avid video game enthusiasts, they are embracing technology like VR and AR to really change the way we experience the world. Innovate helps take businesses to the next level by building attractive websites, creating modern brands, and using digital marketing to encourage current and new audiences with social media, email campaigns, and online ads. They focus on working with small businesses and business owners to provide a professional digital brand. We've all had bad experiences with trying to build a website, so Innovate prides itself in delivering the best services by working with you to get your ideal outcome. If you are interested in learning more, see some of the companies Innovate has worked with by checking out their website at innovate.tech. That's INNOVADE.tech. And let them know that you learned about them from the podcast. That'd be awesome. All right, guys.
Real quick though.
What up?
So they make Webby Poo sites.
They make websites, yes.
I'm gonna have to get them enrolled, huh? Because we've got a HumanicanMedia.com/blog.
Yeah, you should hit them up.
Yeah.
so we can have a
Follow
real
the link.
website.
No, but they make really good stuff, and even if you're bored and you're not super interested in having a website done, I would definitely recommend checking out their sites because they're really well done. They really care about the people that they work with and work with you to make a site that it matches both the brand that you're trying to get across. Basically, they incorporate the essence of your business into the design of the site, and it's really thoughtful. So definitely check them out. All right, so we have a few news articles we want to talk about today. Oh, yeah. Did you want to moderate a little more, Brian?
I wanted to moderate one last thing.
What's up?
Aren't we missing something that we were super happy to have you back for? I haven't heard about what's been going on with my monies.
Oh, my boodlies. I forgot totally.
What's been going on in the stock corner?
forgot completely. Thanks so much, Brank and Bank. All right, let's do some quick numbers here. All right, so NT Doi, aka our Nintendo Bears, Nintendo is at they're doing pretty well right now. They're at $54.25, which in the year their highest has been $58.45, which was a recent spike. A lot of people are attributing Switch sales. Fire Emblem Heroes sales have made a lot of money for Nintendo as well. But there's some interesting decisions being made about Nintendo's stock being split to help in the governance of the company. So I think more to follow on that. But at the moment, Nintendo stock is pretty strong, and I'm definitely happy that I purchased at $50. So.
Real quick, another thing. Sorry, since you last time you were on, something crazy happened with the stock market. Do you want to talk?
Yeah. I mean, there was a pretty big dip in the stock market. Like I was just mentioning with Nintendo. Nintendo had, although it did take a hit during that dip, I think it dipped down to like $48. Ultimately things have completely recovered. A lot of the companies that I follow have also recovered. So that's just the stock market. Like. Something bad will happen, some news will drop, and everyone will react immediately. And then a couple of days later, it's like, oh, the world still exists, so I guess we'll just keep on trading normally. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. So, you always hear about two different types of animals that trade in the stock market. They're bears and they're bulls. But there's a third as well. They're called pigs. And those are the people who buy the second they hear something good about a company, and then sell the second that they hear something bad about a company. And it was like...
There's an NSYNC song about that, right?
Bye. Justin Timberlake, Man in the Woods.
Man in the Woods. Top album of the year, CBS. Album of the year cast, Man in the Woods. He is so woodsy. I love him.
But anyways, though, with the pigs, it just totally reminded me of the pigs from Spirited Away. When the parents turn into pigs. Anyways,
that's like the coolest song too. When she's running away from the castle.
That part's so rad. Me and Aaron just recently watched that movie.
I need to rewatch it.
So cool. Spirited Away.
Oh yeah.
Like that scene also when David Gallagher's character, what's his name? Shoot, it starts with like a K or
I don't remember most of the characters.
But the wizard boy.
Okay.
When he's like flying as a dragon after he's stolen the potion or the stamp or the seal from the good witch who lives in like that remote area, and he's like flying, all those like paper bird airplane things are chasing him. That part is just so freaking cool. Anyways, not related to Stock Corner.
It's totally related to Stock Corner.
Activision is also doing pretty well. Their 52-week high is also about $75, and they're currently trading at $70.84.
And this is because of Call of Duty 2, correct?
Yeah.
Call of Duty 2, a 12-year-old game. Are you talking about World War II?
No, Call of Duty 2.
Call of Duty 2, the game that came out in 2004?
Yeah.
Or no, it was 2005.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, ignore Jank and continue.
Activision Blizzard is because a lot of their games and success is derived from games for service. They really are becoming less like a traditional video game studio in terms of trading on their stock, and more like a tech company. In that is, just based on like responsiveness to the market and things like that.
So we're gonna have Call of Duty cell phones soon. Is this?
That's not at all what
that
I'm
was
saying.
That's like 4 years ago when every company decided to make cell phones.
No, what I'm saying is they're a much more stable company to invest in because of their portfolio, as opposed to, like, they do have new releases and things like that, but because a lot of their money and revenue is derived from repeat players and upgrades to existing games, like service type games, it's not so much like, oh, the big new Activision Blizzard game is coming out. It's more like what new products and what new releases are coming out for the games that already exist.
Old Mr. Cereal himself, Bobby Kotick, man, he's always the man to go to.
There you go. Anywho, EA, they're at 126.34. They're also really close to their all-time high. Again, another company that's really quickly bounced back from some of the stock market floundering that happened a couple weeks ago. Sony, 49.41. and then Ubisoft 1662.
Nice.
A lot of these companies
My
are all
boy.
doing really well.
Sony's CEO stepped down a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
Do you think
Kaz
that's
Hirai.
going to cause any fluctuation in the stock market?
Well, what was his influence in the video game sector?
He was with PlayStation from when they started.
Right.
He was the head of PlayStation till a couple years ago, and then he got moved up to the head of Sony Interactive. So
I mean, if
He
there
didn't step down. He got promoted, right?
no, he's out of Sony now.
No,
he did get promoted
No,
years ago.
he's still in the company, but
thought
he's in a
I thought he was in
and-
like a transitional position till he leaves.
okay. So because I thought that he was just there like to help the person who stepped up to CEO after he stepped down.
Yeah, but he stepped down. He's helping them, and then leaving. You
Yeah,
know what I
he's,
mean?
he's phasing out. It's
Yeah.
like a
Okay,
phase out
all right.
period. So what were the circumstances of his leaving? Was he fired or did
No,
he
no, no, no.
resign?
He resigned.
Was he just old and wanted to
He's-
retire?
There wasn't a lot of detail.
Yeah, but
honestly,
I assume he resigned. This is the most profitable Sony's been.
yeah,
for a long
but as soon as he
time.
announced that, there's all kinds of speculation saying that they think Sony's going to start selling some of its assets, or they're not doing so well, or who
should.
who really knows? But you
Yeah.
know,
Like half of Sony's divisions don't make money. The only one that really is their money cow right now is the video game
Cameras?
department. Well, cameras and the video
yeah,
game
but,
department.
Like they haven't competed in the TV sector
their
for a
TV,
long time.
their
They still make
computers,
them, but
I think they still make computers, and those. Or I know they did in the
Oh
late
yeah,
90s,
like the
early 2000s.
bio.
right,
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of departments that probably don't make anything. And movies, they made film for a long time, and I know they still
Spider-Man, man.
they're making
Yeah.
They're making Venom with Tom Hardy. So
That should be cool. Tom Hardy's good.
yeah, but I've heard I didn't watch the trailer, but I've heard it.
It
is
was the worst
lackluster.
trailer I have ever
Well,
seen.
trailers can really, have a bad effect on a movie.
And we are always very honest, and we never make things larger than they sound. So when he said it's the worst trailer he's ever seen, it literally was the worst trailer
That
he's
is
ever
bad.
seen.
Yep.
It's worse than the Rooms trailer.
So a CEO leaving a company can mean a lot of things. If it could be viewed positively, if the CEO is particularly inept or not the right fit for the company, or it can be viewed negatively, where if a CEO is being poached by another company, it could have
Can be viewed negatively.
negatively.
He's leaving because of his budding pornography career.
Right. And
says,
that happens far more often
Late
than you think.
50s Japanese man. He's just started.
But do you think
There's a market
do you think
for
it
that.
still causes some panic though anytime something like that happens?
I think so. I mean, the company always knows more information than the public, and then the public is always left to interpret everything.
Will this be like the Satanic Panic from the 80s?
I think so. I think Kiss will be there. Knights in Satan's service, singing, waving that rainbow flag. Anyways, that was an Office quote.
nice.
So Take-Two, I think, is the only loser from this batch of video game stocks that we follow. They're currently trading at 107.48, and
Only $107 per stock. They make me sick.
they've had about a $20 drop in stock in the past week. So they're really the ones who are slow to bounce back from last week's bummer fest. Anyways, that is your stock corner. You're all caught up. My message to you is to just buy, and sell.
Be a pig.
Be a pig. Oh, the lights just got brighter.
That's because
it's because Brian had a good idea.
I said be a pig, and the lights. Everybody there, be a pig, okay, guys? You
Yeah.
know.
All the lights, baby.
All the lights. It's
Okay.
just a music quoting podcast and TV quoting.
So, does anyone want to tell me about the old EA Star Wars business that's going on?
Oh yeah. See, at least Davey Boy here doesn't just assume I know what he's talking about.
I think that I should assume that you
Hey.
guys know everything.
I never assume that you know what you're talking about.
Good.
I give you guys.
All right, this is just speculation, but according to kitguru.net, this week a report popped up on
Very valid
Cinelinx.
site.
That's where I get all my news. Video games or
Kit
otherwise.
Guru.
Like shit guru.
It was also on IGN. I just didn't open that one.
Kitguru.
You know how it's
Bumfest.
pronounced Igen?
Igen?
Igen.
Igen. My mistake.
Again?
A report popped up on Cinelinx who claimed to have a source familiar with what's going on. They've heard Lucas and Disney are upset about not just the fallout from Battlefront 2, but also the cancellation of Visceral's Star Wars game, which fans were apparently excited about.
And 13 whatever, the one that really cool one that got
the
canceled
LucasArts
like
one.
2 years ago.
Yeah, that was,
I heard that was canceled by Disney, so that's a bummer.
Yeah,
that
Disney's dumb.
Yeah.
So it just says after these events, Lucasfilms are reportedly meeting with EA's heads to discuss what they're going to do going forward. So what it says here they reach out to Ubisoft and Activision. What do you guys think about that? Do you think
I'm still interested in hearing something about those rumors about Microsoft acquiring stuff. There was the rumor that
that's
Microsoft
right.
was in talks with either EA or the creators of PUBG or Steam, right?
I think we'll find out about that
Whoa.
at E3 though.
So
Like,
if
so
Microsoft
big.
acquired EA, that would be bizarre but super cool probably.
do you think they're taking that into
Dang.
account though as
No,
far as Star Wars games
I think
go?
the Star
I
Wars
mean
stuff
these are rumors,
Right,
you know,
right.
so
But and these rumors could only be might be true because like I don't know if you guys read, but I think it was maybe last week. That's why we didn't ask to put it in the news. But the Hawaii Senate is gonna go to bat against loot boxes.
We talked about that before, right?
No, but it's like it's going. It's
a
happening.
legitimate thing
It's
now.
like
They-
it was the idea was like, oh, it might happen.
Yeah.
So games with loot boxes, like even Hearthstone, might either be banned in Hawaii or I mean, we'll see what happens.
Dang.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
literally.
it's for the best, but
Yeah,
Wait.
maybe it would be crazy though, because I don't know if it's
Seriously?
going to be only free to play games, or I'm not sure what it will be.
I just don't understand. Like Hearthstone's loot boxes is such a small part of it, right? Or at least for me.
It was
but that's how they make all their money.
it was the Star Wars thing that prompted
yeah,
it,
I think
though.
Yeah.
I think part of it too is because of the way it draws in children.
children. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and
Because it's essentially selling gambling to kids.
I'm
Yeah, I
just,
guess so.
I'm just saying Hearthstone just because it is a big game that makes a lot of money based on loot boxes and it's friendly towards kids. But in China, they actually have to literally tell you the rarity of like, oh, if you're going to get a legendary, it's a 0.04% drop.
right.
We don't have to do that here. So I think that the minimum is maybe not going to be banning, but at least telling you.
Yeah,
But for a
so-
kid's not going to pick.
Yeah,
Kid's not going to
that's-
notice
I-
that.
Maybe it will be. Who
The
knows? Maybe they'll have to
UK
rate the games higher
The
because of that.
UK's already done something like that.
That's
though.
actually pronounced the uck.
the uck. Yes.
What the uck?
What the uck?
Yes.
Many mother uckers.
That was what they were referring to on one of the
My weekly
Concord.
balance sheet.
Continue, Josh.
Oh no! I mean that's
Sorry.
that's all I had to
Can
say.
anyone continue from after
I think
that?
it's good that Disney and Marvel are reevaluating their relationship with EA. I think EA has been nothing but really a shit show for a little while now.
Yeah.
I don't
I think
know, that's so funny, the term.
It's
I know, but it's it's like they get everyone involved. They buy tickets to the show. There's a whole curtain. They draw it up, and it's just shit on
yeah,
there.
it's just a guy
And then
on
they
a toilet.
cancel it.
Is there like a wet zone, like a splash zone?
Yeah,
like a
it's
SeaWorld
got like
thing?
circus music, like da 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 shit shit.
It's a bummer because they own tons of great IP and
But the thing is that I think EA. I'm really hoping that EA is on the way out. I hope.
Yeah.
I know that they're still a financially viable company,
Yeah.
but at some point, if they're the only thing that they're viable for is like a couple things here and there,
Yeah.
maybe they'll start selling off assets. Maybe
Yeah.
they'll get rid of BioWare, which would be fantastic for BioWare.
That'd be cool.
Um,
If Microsoft bought them because there's
Only
an
good
idea.
could come from BioWare being let go from EA.
That'd be awesome.
Originally, Microsoft was in talks to buy BioWare. That's why it's such a bummer they didn't.
Can you
'cause they did-
imagine how good Mass Effect
They
might
did
have
Jade
been?
Empire.
Dude,
They did.
it's so
They
great.
published the first Mass Effect, but yeah, EA may not like be doing like cool games or stuff anymore. But when I think they took a $20 billion loss in stocks when the loot box stuff was going on because of a Reddit post, and that's not even like a big chunk of their money. So it's like it is crazy to
20
think. Like,
billion? That's a lot of money.
That's
maybe it was-
nothing. What are you
I
talking
don't. I
about?
think it was 20 billion because they're.
so much money.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. I don't think it was 20 million because I remember it being like way bigger.
Well, yeah,
than
because
that.
20 million is not that much for EA. Maybe 2 billion. Because 20 billion, that's
So they're valued right now.
that's more
like,
money than they make in a year.
A lot of people were thinking that. Nice. A lot of people were thinking that EA, if they were sold, would be worth 120 billion to the buyer.
The Star Wars
No,
asset.
EA. Because
EA
EA
is
doesn't
worth-
own EA doesn't own Star Wars. They're just a licensing deal, so they still pay Disney. So EA as a whole company is worth 120 billion dollars.
That's interesting. Because I think Disney bought Star Wars for 4 billion.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they bought Star Wars for $4 billion from one guy, basically.
Yeah.
Right, but who has the backing of
And-
many different
and
companies?
Microsoft
Yeah.
bought Minecraft for $3 billion from Mojang. That's one game.
They paid $3 billion
They paid
for it?
$3 billion
Yeah, but
for that game.
they're ranking in on that.
Yeah,
Oh,
and they
yeah,
make tons
they-
of money. It's
Microsoft,
on
yeah,
Dang.
because they get, I mean,
Switch sales.
yeah, there's tons of
So-
Minecraft makes tons of money, and they kept it open platform, so
Yeah.
it's not like they were like,
Well, maybe it is 20
And
billion.
Candy
They've been
Crush
really
was
smart with that.
I want to say Activision purchased Candy Crush for $30 billion. So yeah, these may sound like big numbers, but games make. What game was I reading about? It was a game that like Marvel, like a cell phone Marvel game that makes $10 million a day.
Wow.
Like the money in some games is ridiculous. Sorry, bad going off for a rant.
We done talking about EA?
Oh yeah.
All right. Who wants to talk to me about the old COD bod?
yeah, the founders of Sledgehammer that have been internally promoted in Activision and have therefore left Sledgehammer, which is an interesting twist because the guys that founded Infinity Ward got sick of their job and left Activision, or they left Infinity Ward to start Respawn.
Yeah.
But it sounds like the Sledgehammer guys have actually left Sledgehammer to be inside of Activision in a different way.
They sold out more?
Yeah, they sold out
I
more.
have to real quick have to interrupt because it was funny that you said they left Infinity Ward to start Respawn, which is now owned by EA. So they
Right.
left Activision,
Circle
but
of
EA
life.
bought Respawn last year. So I wouldn't be surprised if they leave there soon too.
I really want to. I mean, I guess it's just one of those things where people like they have to be swayed by money in some
Yeah.
way because it's like they always leave with those kind of like, this is our vision and we're gonna like